This channel is brought to you by Double Six. I'm rich, wealthy, 6'2", black, red pills, Sigma man from South London. On this channel, I discuss money, cars, women and children. These are the topics that dominate all men's lives. I'm an authority on these topics and I want to share my stories and expertise with you. Firstly, let me congratulate you for landing on my channel. If you are watching this video, then you're consuming the right content to assist you in becoming a personal success. Exotic car companies don't run commercials on TV because their customers aren't sitting around watching TV or swiping left on TikTok. Let that sink in for a moment. If you are unwilling to unplug and take the blue pill, no one can help you. But if you are willing to swallow that red pill and you're determined to unplug, no one can stop you. In my first series of videos, I spoke to you about mastering the keys to personal success. The video before this, I explored the traits of persons likely to betray you. But as you explore these topics on how to achieve personal success, I start to thrash out more and more competencies required to be a success. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to detect and separate jealous and envious people from your circle of influence. But I want you to stay tuned towards the end of this video where I give you one killer tip on how to sniff out and separate jealous and envious people. So I'll see you on the other side where we can untangle this just that little bit more. Hold tight. Back to the script. I'll always start my videos with this statement. It just helps to anchor my thinking daily. And it's this: to live is to suffer. Life is a battle for territory. I'll always say this on the start of my videos. The world owes you nothing. You have to take what you want, and once you've taken what you want, you have to guard it, sometimes by risking your life. If you don't have enemies, then you're not a threat. You're a harmless little beta out here. A harmless man isn't a good man. He's a useless man. A beta soul is doomed to achieving greatness. There's no virtue in harmlessness. Real virtue is knowing that you have the capability to be a monster, but more significantly, choosing not to be. If you're a harmless man, then you're not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man with control of his emotions. A man must have the capacity for kindness and love and the capacity to render destruction upon his enemies. For the man who truly wants the life that most men dream about, a multi-front attack, improving his finances, physical well-being and game with one eye on that ticking clock is the only way to go. I will remind you as regular as I can that my goal every day is to become harder to kill. Harder to kill physically, harder to kill spiritually, harder to kill financially, and harder to kill emotionally. So my goal every day is to become harder to kill. I create these videos to help people become more deadly and more dangerous and achieve personal success. But in order to do this, you have to be able to assess the people around you correctly. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you want to achieve personal success, you have to ensure you're spending time with the people that can uplift your average. If you spend time with 5 dangerous men, you will become the 6th dangerous man. If you spend time with 5 millionaires, you will become the 6th millionaire. If you spend time with 5 idiots, you know what? You will become the 6th idiot. Let that sink in for a moment. In order to live by the principle of average, you have to ensure you keep certain types of people outside of your inner circle. Who are those people? That's the question that I'm here to help you answer. Well, let me break it down for you just a little bit more. In my previous video on the traits of persons likely to betray you, I introduced you to the betrayal triangle. With this tool, I showed you how to categorize persons likely to betray you into 3 groups. Group number 1, the impossible group. Group number 2, the least possible group. And group number 3, the high risk group. I will link to this video in the description and the cards above here. Go check it out and then come back to me. In my previous video to this one, I introduced the concept of how to identify losers, but not just any old loser, the natural born losers, the ones that are Satan's emissary on earth, put here to drag you down. Natural born losers are real crabs in a barrel, clawing at your heels when you're trying to rise up. In that video on losers, which I'll link to also in the description and the cards on this video here too, I introduced to you 3 types of people that you you need to remove from your inner circle if you truly want to achieve personal success. These were group number 1, losers. But not just any old losers, the natural born losers. Group number 2, envious people. Yeah? Group number 2 consisted of envious people. And group number 3, people that do not believe in you. I explored in detail the natural born losers and the traits that identify them. But in this video, I'm going to explore group number 2, which is envious people. But stay tuned to the end of this video for my killer tip on how to deal with jealous and envious people in your life. If you want to share some examples of traits of jealous and envious people, please share these in the comment section below. Hit that like button to boost the channel ratings and smash that subscribe button to be notified of powerful new content to promote success, well-being and financial freedom. Before I hit you with more science, let me take some time to big up the sponsors. Let me interrupt this important information to take some time to big up the channel sponsor Cashapp Shipping. Cashapp Shipping is a London-based freight forwarding service that exports personal effects, household goods, vehicles and machinery to all major islands of the Eastern Caribbean, including Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, just to name a few. They have a fantastic online booking service for collections and deliveries within the London area, so check out Cashapp Shipping Services. The link will be in the description below. Back to the script. I don't make these videos to lie to you and make you think that I've risen to success without any injury or travesty in my life. No way. Pathway to personal success is rife with both backache and heartache, so be prepared for both. Anyways, maybe if I can hold back the tears one day, I'll drop a video, on some of the more specific jealous and envious people that have really rocked my life and made me suffer some real heartache in my life. But today I'm gonna focus on jealous and envious people. But let me tell you something, be prepared, because the information I'm gonna give you in this video, once you know how to identify jealous and envious people, you might cut off and lose some people that were close to you, but they're gonna be deadwood anyway. But you just have to be prepared that you might have to lose some really close people to you. They might be as close as your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your lover, could be your wife, your business partner. Be prepared with the information I'm gonna give you, because a little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing in the wrong mind. This is the case when it comes to understanding, jealousy and envy in a particular relationship. Now, the title of this video is Jealousy versus Envy. So let's start off with the definition of both. Let's start off with the simple and easiest concept of the two, which is jealousy. Jealousy is too complicated an emotion to simply refer to a dictionary description of the word. So I'll break it down for you with my type of experience on the subject. Jealousy is properly restricted to contexts involving emotional rivalry. I can get jealous over my friends and enemies' achievements. I believe jealousy is the root of good competition. If I see a man driving a nice red Ferrari, 488 GTB, I feel jealous. I want that car, I want to see myself driving that car. When we were younger, we all used to play the game. That's my car. That's my car. You see a nice car driving past, I want that car. I want that car when I grow up. That game that a lot of boys played. That is the emotion of jealousy. When you see something that somebody has and you want it, I believe that is a proper description of jealousy. Jealousy can often be an overwhelming feeling of insecurity about a potential loss or inequity in distribution of resources. The term is used to describe a feeling associated with being possessive or of another person, such as a partner or a friend. Envy is something that most people are familiar with. The definition of envy is used more broadly to describe resentful contemplation of a more fortunate person. Just let that sink in for a second. Resentful contemplation of a more fortunate person. When we see that someone has what we would like to have, so I like that Ferrari, so we see something that somebody has that we would like to have, that's jealousy, It could be physical possessions or personality traits or ministries or talent. Then a natural human reaction is to be jealous of them, Take the example of me seeing the man in the red Ferrari. When I saw it drive past, I felt jealous. I wanted that red Ferrari. So I'm gonna work towards myself. I'm gonna work towards my goals. I'm gonna set smart goals and achievable targets, and I'm gonna try and drive that red Ferrari. But to be envious is to wish the man to crash his car and write it off. Just because if I can't have that red Ferrari, then I believe that he shouldn't have it. So let's compare jealousy versus envy. Jealousy and envy are in direct proportion to proximity. Let that sink in. For those of you in the cheap seats, I'll say it again. Jealousy and envy are in direct proportion to proximity. You can only really be jealous and envious of people close to you. You're not really jealous or envious of people who you don't know or you didn't grow up with. Like, I'm not jealous of the Queen with all her rank and privilege, but I bet the Queen's sister is jealous to high hell that she's not the Queen. And I bet the Queen doesn't trust her sister as far as she can spit. This is what I mean by jealousy and envy being in direct proportion to proximity, yeah? You're only really jealous of people in your circle of influence that you grew up with, that you went to school with. That's one of the key tools to someone being jealous or envious over you, yeah? I watch some programs about renting yachts. I see the patrons paying $10,000 per night to rent the yacht. I don't even feel envious over them or jealous over these people because I'm not in their social circle. But I bet the man renting the yacht for 10 bags per night is well jealous over the man who owns his own yacht that probably paid, 30, 40 million for the yacht. But this time, this man, all he can do is afford to rent a yacht for $10,000 per night. You just have to look at the social circle you're in. But let me dig a little deeper into the distinction between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is when you worry someone will take what you have or when you want what someone else has. Like me wanting to drive that red Ferrari when it passed me by. Envy is the sin of jealousy over the blessings and achievements of others. Let that sink in. For those of you in the cheap seats, I'll say it again because I think it's really important. Envy is the sin of jealousy over the blessings and achievements of other people. Envy is wanting someone else to lose what they have just because you can't have it. Maybe the mathematical formula, if there was one for envy, would be jealousy plus sinful wishes equals envy. But for people that come from the same streets as me, the mathematical formula would be jealousy plus bad mind equals envy. So if you come from where I come from in South London, you'll understand bad mind. Add that with jealousy and you get a real cold-hearted, green-eyed monster of envy around you in your circle. Similarly, if there was a mathematical formula for success, it could be jealousy plus hard work equals personal success. To be a success, you have to want for things. And to want for things means you have to see others in a place or position where you would want to see yourself. That would just be jealousy. So if I see the man in the red Ferrari and I feel jealous and I add hard work to that jealousy, to that emotion, then sooner or later I'll be driving that red Ferrari too. I don't wish the man to crash the Ferrari because I can't have the Ferrari. That will be resentfulness, yeah? Resentfulness on his blessings, because his blessings is to drive that Ferrari at that present moment in time, today for him and tomorrow for me. It's not a sin to be tempted to be jealous, but if it is allowed to be surrounded by sinful thoughts and bad mind and fester inside a person, it becomes destructive. It becomes the green-eyed monster of envy. So watch your back. If you want to share some examples of traits of jealous and envious people, please share these in the comment section below. Hit that like button or click that like button if it's on your TV, or touch that like button if it's on your phone to boost the channel ratings, and smash that subscribe button to be notified of powerful new content to promote success, well-being and financial freedom. Let's untangle the emotion of jealousy a little more to understand it from history. You know, I like to touch on the scriptures as a baseline to thrash out my thinking. Not because I'm a religious man. I think religion is a madness, but scripture is widely accepted as a baseline for people to identify with examples that I want to help you expand your thinking. I know you've all heard of the 10 Commandments. One of my first interactions with the 10 Commandments was the old school film that come on TV every year or every Christmas with that redneck Charlton Heston. But you know, turn to the scriptures all the same, yeah? Turn to Exodus 25 where it states, "You shall not bow down to them," yeah? Which is other gods, "or serve them. For I, the Lord, I'm a jealous God. This can show us that if it's God's prerogative in his 10 commandments to show you that he is a jealous entity, then, who are we if we're supposed to be made in his image? Yeah, we can certainly feel the same way. We're certainly allowed to be jealous. If God can be a jealous God, then it's our prerogative to be jealous human beings too if we're made in his image. All we have to do is use the emotion of jealousy to set smart goals and good achievable targets, and then we can get what we want. We can get what our eye sees, what our heart desires. That is the feeling of jealousy. Now, let's turn to envy. Boy, just saying the word envy makes me shiver, yeah? I really don't like envious people. I'm a scriptures man, so for the civilians, let me hear, just think about what I'm going to say. First homicide known to man, according to the Bible, was the killing of Cain by his brother Abel. According to the good book, this was the first recorded murder in human history. In the book of Genesis, envy is declared to be the motivation behind Cain murdering his brother Abel, as Cain envied Abel because God favored Abel's sacrifice. Turn to Genesis 4:3-8. I like the saying turn to. I think of the old days when I was an idiot and I used to sit in the church like a good boy, but them is the simp days, I swallowed the red pill. I ain't sitting in them church no more clapping no hand like an idiot, but we ain't gonna judge nobody. When Abel's sacrifice was respected by God and Cain's was not, Cain killed his brother out of envy. Both in the Old and New Testament, there are mentions of envy and stories associated with it, often with dramatic consequence. In one of the very first stories of the Bible, we're informed of the destructive power and wickedness that envy can cause. Let that sink in. When envy springs up and is allowed to live and grow in a person's heart, it has horrible consequences. Sin of envy can be traced all the way back to one of the 10 commandments where we're told, thou shalt not covet, in the divine laws given to Moses in the Old Testament. This commandment directly relates to the deadly sin of envy, as we're instructed not to desire the possessions or attributes of others. Envy can destroy everything and everyone around you. The Bible says, where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder and every evil thing. At the heart of the problem is a problem of the heart. Envy is a heart problem. Here's my killer tip. Let me hit you with one killer tip on envious people, and it's this. Envy tends to be the shadowy and unconscious part of a person. It can act passive-aggressively and be hell-bent on destroying what it can't have. Envy generally involves two people. Envious person may deeply want what the other person has and feels frustrated at not being able to have it. The envious person can then act on that frustration, and that may be subtly or sometimes obviously attack the other person. Guard your life with all your energy and watch out for envious people around you. They will most certainly cause you harm as soon as the risk of striking you with an acceptable level of repercussion arises. If you find that you have envious people around you, root them out, no matter who they are. Friends, family, enemies, root these envious people out of your inner circle right away. Let me summarize this video for you. Envy is often rooted in low self-esteem, sometimes from very early unmet childhood needs where the person feels inherently not good enough within themselves. An envious person may frequently compare and despair and find themselves wanting, and so they seek to bring down the object or person who they perceive is making them feel that way. It's almost as though the other person is responsible for the envious person's happiness. Envious people feel deficient in themselves and have a constant hunger to fill that deficiency. Envious people are toxic, destructive, and dangerous. I make these videos to help people become more deadly and more dangerous, but not like this. Not by being an envious person. More significantly, envious people show signs of envy when they speak to you, or they speak about you. It's not hard to miss. They begrudge everything and everything good in life. Envious people are to be avoided at all costs. Remember, If you think this video will be useful to your friends or family, please don't hesitate to share it. After all, I create these videos and this content to help people, so help me by sharing it. Yeah, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Smash it if you can. Bing, 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 bing. Hit that like button, yeah? And I hope if you fit the profile of an envious person, stay the hell away from me. And if any of your people fit the profile of an envious person, root them out of your circle. I'm going to do another video after this one on the traits of envious people, and hopefully I can link up a few of these videos, yeah? So, I'm Double Six, I'm rich, wealthy, 6'2", red pill Sigma man from South London. On this channel I discuss money, cars, women and children. These are the topics that dominate all men's lives. I'm an authority on these topics and I want to share my stories with you. Hit the like button, boost those channel ratings and smash that subscribe button. That's all I want from you. I'll catch you on the next one. Little more. Peace.